In a recent video I made about psychophysical harmony, I laid out the basic idea and gave some of the most common objections against it. Like the evolutionary response that I claimed was actually circular and doesn't in fact refute psychophysical harmony. But I don't think I made a good job at it. So let me in this video go more into detail about why evolution is not a good response against psychophysical harmony. If you want to know what psychophysical harmony is, I would refer you to my previous video, but let me very shortly just define the concept. Psychophysical harmony tries to answer the question why our psychological states rationally align with our physical states and behavior. How come our phenomenal states justify our behavior? Many people would say that evolution actually answers that question. Because if it was not the case that pain rationally aligned with behavior, the organisms wouldn't survive. Now, let's go into why that isn't a sufficient answer. I mean, there's no issue in saying that evolution can explain why certain brain states track tissue damage and causes avoidance. That's kind of obvious, right? But it doesn't explain why that brain state is accompanied by pain instead of some random experience like a shade of pink or some random sound like a ringing bell. It's important to keep in mind that evolution doesn't care what organisms feel as long as they behave in a way that increases their chances for survival and reproduction. In other words, evolution doesn't care if person A pulls their hand away from the hot stove because of the experience of pain, while the other person B does the same thing because of some experience of a shade of pink. Evolution does not care about the experience, as long as both persons act in a way so that they would avoid damaging their bodies. I mean, we could easily build a robot with a robotic body that did exactly the same thing, namely pulling its robotic hand away when it felt some specific temperature of heat, even though it was nothing it is like for the robot to experience that heat or that temperature. As long as it acts in a way so that its body, in this case robotic body, doesn't get damaged. Crummett and Cutter say that once the functional role is fixed, many other experiential mappings seems conceivable, and most would be disharmonious, like the examples I gave about like a shade of pink or some random sound. And they would be disharmonious because there's nothing that rationally connects experiencing a shade of pink to avoidance behavior. So evolution explains the functional role, but not the experience to function fit. I mean, why does pain have the kind of feel that fits avoidance in the first place? Why isn't pain linked to perceiving some shade of pink? Evolution can select pain as useful if pain already works in the right way. That is, if feeling pain already tends to go together with avoidance behavior. And that is crucial because if pain is already an intrinsically bad experience that gives us reason to avoid it, then evolution is selecting given that fact, not explaining it. Evolution is supposed to tell us why pain is harmoniously linked to avoidance, but it starts by assuming that pain already is the sort of experience that justifies avoidance. That's why it's circular. It's like saying, why does this key open the lock? And someone answering, because it is the key that fits the lock. I mean, that does not explain the fit, it presupposes it.